All righty, folks, as I'm sure many of you have seen by now, Jimmy Kimmel got himself yanked off air. He just couldn't help himself. He had to open that big mouth and talk about Charlie Kirk. You would think someone with so much to lose could just learn a lesson by watching his liberal television friends one by one wreck themselves. I'm thinking, I don't know, Colbert and some of the others. But no, he had to smear Charlie's name. Anyway, with crybaby Kimmel and Time Out, it didn't take long for some of the deranged Democrat friends of his to rush to his defense. Oh, let's go to Brian Stelter. He was first up, and his meltdown on CNN is definitely worth a watch.
But let's back up and look at what Kimmel actually said on the program that has caused controversy. This is from Monday night in his Monday evening monologue. Kimmel suggested that the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk might have been a pro-Trump Republican. He said, quote, "The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it." He said in between the finger pointing, there was grieving. Kimmel was expressing what we've heard some other liberals say in recent days, that the motives are unclear and that maybe the suspect in this case was a Republican or was some sort of far-right fringe figure. Of course, there has been a lot of discussion about that in recent days. There's a lot of evidence pointing in other directions about the suspect. But Kimmel was on the air talking about this, making a very serious commentary amid his jokes in his monologue Monday night.
Yeah, well, I think we took that apart in the Alex Jones segment earlier in the show. Stelter went on accusing Republicans and pro-Trump allies of targeting Kimmel and ABC, even though Republicans had nothing to do with this at all. Jake Tapper even jumped in, tried to help the baseless argument get to the finish line. Listen to the rest of this mess.
What he said specifically was, quote, "The MAGA gang is desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it." That can be read in several ways. That could be heard in several ways. It could also be It could also be argued he's saying that what the MAGA gang is doing is just trying to make sure that they don't have any ownership of it, not necessarily that this killer, this horrible person, was part of them. I mean,
I think you're making a very important point.
Yeah,
you're making a very important point. And let's take it a little bit step further. This was all on Monday night. Nobody seemed to notice this yesterday, Jake. This all erupted in the past few hours when the Trump-aligned FCC chairman decided to point at it. Now, I've heard from him in the past few minutes, Brendan Carr, thanking Nexstar for doing the right thing by yanking the show. He has not yet commented on ABC yanking the show altogether across the entire country. But let's remember that when Stephen Colbert's show was canceled over the summer, what did President Trump say? He said, next up will be an even less talented Jimmy Kimmel. It is clear that pro-Trump allies have been trying to target ABC over Kimmel for several weeks now, and tonight they've prevailed.
He's just not funny. Kimmel's just not funny. That's it. He stopped being funny. The meltdown over Kimmel's cancellation continues to pour in. Chuck Schumer didn't take the news too well. In fact, he joined CNN and had his own meltdown. Here's the clip.
Senator Schumer, your reaction to this?
It is outrageous. It's a page right out of Xi's playbook. This is just despicable, disgusting, and against democratic values. Trump and his allies seem to want to shut down speech that they don't like to hear. That is not what democracies do. That is what autocracies do. And it doesn't matter whether you agree with Kimmel or not. He has the right to free speech. And so it is just outrageous. It is indicative of autocracy. And I am just outraged by it. Again, this is what dictators do. This is what Xi would do. This is what Putin would do. We are not that country.
Who's Xi? Who's he calling Xi? Xi. I'm kidding. Chinese president. Xi Jinping. CNN, the House of Meltdowns, also booked Representative Robert Garcia to cry about Jimmy Kimmel. He went on the network to lash out and complain, but just like all of his peers, Garcia forgot to condemn what Kimmel actually said. They just want to bitch and moan about Kimmel getting bounced. Watch.
When you see that Jimmy Kimmel is gone because of that, does that even hit harder home to you?
Look, I'm honestly, this is very concerning. I think, first, Jimmy Kimmel is a late-night host. He's a comedian. We have the First Amendment in this country. Folks have the right to say what's on their minds, and certainly in a monologue on a late-night show. And I think anyone that's going to listen and watch that clip, I mean, it's pretty clear that this is a direct attack on free speech. And it's one thing for all of us to unite and talk about political violence and denouncing political violence. It's another now to target people who you may not agree their opinion with or that you don't like what they have to say. What's happening right now in these attacks on universities, attacks on people in their job because we don't like what they say or we're policing every word. This is an extreme example now and another direct attack on the media. And I think one thing is important to be said at this moment.
Yeah.
Donald Trump has been, in a systematic way, attacking the media, causing harm, impacting the way people believe and interact with news gathering, what people are saying. And he continues and continues to tear media and media institutions down.
Democrat Representative Garcia, did you mention that Kimmel trashed the memory of Charlie Kirk and blamed MAGA for Charlie Kirk's assassination? Did you mention that at all? No. Just trying to do politics, right? Just trying to do politics, you loser Democrats. Don Lemon isn't taking the Jimmy Kimmel news very well either. Lemon, who jumps on every trend he can as desperately as he can to stay relevant, posted a rant online immediately after learning the news about Kimmel. Take a listen to what this almost forgotten guy had to say.
Jimmy Kimmel, they're trying to cancel Jimmy Kimmel. I'm sure you've heard the news by now, but I've been going through the internet looking for the clips to see what they're mad or upset about, and I can't find it. These are I can't find it. The one that they have on there, I don't see where that's even controversial. The guy's a comedian. This is the same party, the same group of people who complained about everything is too woke. Comedians can't say anything anymore. They're killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about killing comedy are killing comedy. The folks who are complaining about canceling people are canceling people. What does that tell you? That they don't believe in anything that they're saying, that they've said, that they have no core. All it is if it doesn't fit their particular ideology or belief, then they don't want to hear it. And that's the moment.
It's a little different, though. I mean, I do get the point about Kimmel. He's just trying to be funny, but I just, that's why I don't believe that they canceled. I'm not sure they're canceling Kimmel. They canceled Colbert. I'm not sure they're canceling Kimmel just yet, and if they are, I don't think it's over Charlie Kirk. I think it's because the ratings suck, and they're blaming the Charlie Kirk assassination for. It gave them an out, gave them a reason, at least an acceptable reason for some of the audience members to say, okay, we get it now. But the reality is these things cost hundreds of millions of dollars to produce, and they don't produce nearly that amount in ad revenues. In very quickly, other news, Jasmine Crockett back to her fear-mongering, race baiting, which she loves to do. Congresswoman doesn't feel safe in America, and she's really pissed about the people who do feel safe. Listen to this confusion from the dumbest Congresswoman in America.
Director. And frankly, when people sit around and say things like, oh, we're happy because now we feel safe, I don't know who feels safe in this country except for the white supremacists. Because I specifically, as a black woman, definitely don't feel.
The white supremacists feel, they're the only people who feel safe. I feel safe. I'm not a white supremacist. I feel safe. Don't you feel safe? I feel safe. I know the people in D.C. feel a little bit safer right now. Memphis is probably getting a little bit safer right now, too. Maybe soon Chicago will feel a little safer. And I'm sure all those people there are white supremacists. In fact, I think a lot of them are minorities. Jazzy Jazz.